Oh my gosh, a shark.
Oh my gosh, a shark.
Get Mario.
The southern coastline of Africa is an intertidal ecosystem flush with bizarre-looking ocean creatures. From buggy-eyed toadfish to slippery octopus. These were animal oddities that I really had to work hard to get my hands on.
Got it, yes! Yeah. Wow, what a scoop!
The crew and I spent the morning exploring isolated pockets of water, and in the process, captured on camera one of our most epic Beyond the Tide episodes.
Oh my gosh, there's an octopus. Nobody move. You see him? Where?
Right there, right there, right there. There he is.
You got him. Got it! Yes! Woo! How about that?
After wrapping up the scene and releasing the octopus back into its watery abyss, we started to film some environmental B-roll shots and happened upon a scenario I have dreamed of since starting this aquatic series.
Oh my gosh, a shark.
Oh my gosh, a shark.
Get Mario. I can't believe that. I'm like, this is so cool. I look over, I'm like, it's a shark.
The camera team is just returning. I think the goal here is going to be to catch the shark, look at it very quickly, and then actually release it back out into the deeper water. We definitely don't want to stress it out or try to handle it for too long, but this is so cool. A shark in a tide pool. All right, guys, so this is super crazy. We just got finished filming with an octopus, and there is a shark in this pocket of water. That is a spotted gully shark. Now they are bottom feeders, and unlike great white sharks or tiger sharks, they only have small little blunted teeth. So it should be okay for me to gently pick up this shark. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
I have no idea how fast it's gonna move. I'm gonna actually not use my net and try to grab it by the back of the tail. They have very sandpaper-like skin, so I should be able to grip onto it no problem.
Heads up.
Okay, I got a hold of it there. Bringing it up. Hey, buddy, look at that.
Whoa.
That is the first shark we have ever caught or featured on the Brave Wilderness channel. What a beautiful fish. Now, the way that I can tell that this is a spotted gully shark, see all those black spots? Pretty obvious, right? And they usually have a very light colored belly. They also have very distinct triangular pectoral fins, very distinct triangular dorsal fin, and then a second fin on the rear part of its tail that's almost as tall as the actual dorsal fin. All right, I'm gonna dunk it back down. It's being very calm. That is so cool.
The spotted gully shark is a species of hound shark that can often be found in shallow inshore waters. They favor sandy tide pools, such as the ones we have been exploring, and occasionally find themselves marooned when the tide drops.
When you run your fingers in one direction across the skin, it's smooth, but if you go in reverse direction, it feels just like sandpaper. Go ahead, Mark. Pet the shark. Go one way.
Wow.
Right?
Very rough.
Like a fine grit sandpaper right there. Now this shark has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gill slits. Now when we're talking about the teeth of this creature, it's almost like a cheese grater. What they feed on are small crustaceans and other animals on the basin of the ocean. And actually, this is one of those rare occasions where I could probably be bitten by a shark and be just fine. They oftentimes will hunt in tide pools, just sifting along the bottom for small crabs and other mollusks. Let me dip it again. Woo, that is so cool, being able to handle a shark. Okay, buddy, there you go, there you go.
At nearly 3 feet in length, this shark is considered a juvenile, yet they can reach lengths of nearly 6 feet and are primarily active at night, feeding on crustaceans, small fish, and cephalopods such as octopuses.
Bring the shark back up here.
Man, a tide pool shark.
So cool, right? Now, you may be saying to yourselves, Coyote, is this shark permanently marooned in this tide pool? No, actually the tide is on its way back in right now. Once the water gets deep enough, it will be able to move to the next pocket or out in the ocean if it chooses to. But what a cool opportunity for us to get a shark up close for the cameras. Talk about topping off a day of tide pooling here in South Africa. All right, buddy, let's put him back in the environment and get some cool shots of it swimming around. There you go. Wow, that's awesome.
As I released the shark into a deeper pocket of water, I could hardly believe that this was the ultimate conclusion to our epic day of tide pooling. And as its silhouette disappeared into the current, I watched with a childlike wonder and a sense of gratitude for the path that led the team and I to this moment in time, which marked the day we finally found and caught a tide pool shark.
Nice, down into the depths of that pool. Wow, the first shark on Brave Wilderness. That was epic. Woo, tide's coming in, let's go guys.
Yeah! Mario! What'd you think of that? Yeah!
Killer whale, blackfish, orca. No matter how you address this animal, its name commands respect. My entire life I have had a fascination with this majestic creature, and I would often picture myself one day having the chance to see them in the wild. This is my account of that vision taking shape and coming true.
All right, guys, this is it. The moment that we've been waiting for. The gear's loaded up. It's time to hop on board and head out on the water to search for orcas. Hop on. All right. Cool, let's head on out.
Let's do it. We launching? Oh wow, that fast, huh?
We're launching, oh
Here we
yeah.
go.
We gotta find the whales.
He said they're fast and they're far away, so
All right.
we gotta get to them.
So how far are we going?
We're going a ways. We're going close to 40 miles.
All right, Papa Bo says we're heading out about 40 miles to search for the orcas. Now you may notice that the entire crew is wearing red caps. That's because they love the Wes Anderson movie, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, which is also one of my favorite movies. So today we've got kind of Team Zissou here. This is Papa Bo, our captain. Say hi, Bo.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
We got Jason back here. He's gonna be rowing my kayak.
Yes, indeed.
And that's my main man, Bobby. He's gonna be kayaking Mark around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, high five to you, buddy.
Today we are heading out onto the Salish Sea, an intricate network of coastal waterways that includes the southwestern portion of British Columbia and the northwestern portion of the United States. With the sun casting a beautiful glow across the water, we motored north into the Strait of Georgia as we search for a calm stretch of sea to safely launch our kayaks.
Slow up, Jason. Slow up. Slow up. There you go.
All right, so we're motoring out of this area. You can see we're surrounded by all sorts of really dangerous current. This could be a good area to look for orcas. However, we cannot bring the kayaks into the water like this. Captain Bo tells me that this will literally suck you down about 100 feet into the water and will kill you instantly. So we're gonna motor out of this and keep searching.
It took some time, but we finally found a spot where Captain Bo felt comfortable setting us out onto the ocean.
All right, Bo, so we need a brief explanation. This is the first time that we've gone into the water with the top marine predator that's out there. Now, we know that a killer whale has never attacked a human, but safety first is always a protocol. Plus, we need to respect the distance that we get from these whales. So explain to us a little bit exactly what we should be doing out there.
Sure thing. Well, we're going to be launching you here from Blackfish, our mothership today. Sending you guys out with training guides, Bobby and Jason, and they're going to be leading you out into this area where we have some really good intel about presence of killer whales. We really want to respect their environment. We're going into an area where there are known to feed for large king salmon. And we're just gonna set you guys loose, see what you can find. I'm confident that we can probably find an encounter here today. There's a report of 30 to 40 animals in the region. When we encounter them, we're just gonna really be respectful of what they're doing, what's going on. They have a hard job out here finding fish in the big ocean. So we're gonna get out there, see what we see, and really enjoy whales in the wild.
All right, sounds great. Well, I am ready.
Let's paddle.
Let's get those kayaks into the water. You guys ready?
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Let's do it.
I could feel my heart rate increasing as I stepped from the blackfish and down into my kayak.
Ready?
This was it. No turning back now.
I'm in. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
With cameras in hand, Mark and I were poised to get the best shots we could. That is, if we were lucky enough to come upon any whales.
All right, guys, we are on the water and it's time to begin our search. Jason, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Thumbs up, Mark, you good?
Let's go.
All right, let's do this.
As we set out on the water, we paddled with purpose, hoping that maybe, just maybe off in the distance, we would catch the glimpse of a black dorsal fin breaching the water's surface as one of these magnificent predators came up for a breath of air and then disappeared back into the unknown.
It's actually pretty smooth rowing. That'd be a little rougher than this. I mean, these little chops aren't too bad to deal with, are they?
No, it's good paddling conditions back here right now.
Coyote, you seen anything?
Nothing yet.
We steadily paddled north toward Canada, and while it seemed like radioing back to the Blackfish for pickup was a wise thing to do, we decided to keep going. It was this very choice that placed us on a watery road toward fate and an animal encounter that we would never forget.
All right, guys, we actually have some killer whales just off the side of the kayaks here, probably within about 200 yards. Wow, I can see the dorsal fins breaching. Mark, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it way out there. Wow.
It's a matter of just staying here, being calm, seeing if the whales get curious and come closer to us. We're just gonna kind of drift on the waves here and see what happens.
When it comes to encountering orcas in the wild, there are very strict rules and regulations that boaters must respect. These guidelines assure not only the safety for those operating their watercrafts, but even more importantly, the safety and well-being of the animals.
Jason, you seen anything back there?
It's beautiful conditions and I've heard a few blows. There's some whales up ahead and it looks like there might be some behind us.
Oh wow, we got an orca right here. Just less than 100 yards right off the side of the kayak. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow. Woo, that was awesome. Did not expect that. I was looking much further out.
Oh, there's a breach.
Got it.
Wow. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got that.
All right, guys, so we have some killer whales just off to my right here. You can see them breaching, blowing water up into the air. You've got the setting sunlight. It is absolutely epic. Whoa, they're a lot bigger once you get down into the water, aren't they?
They're huge, like a bus.
Orcas are incredibly intelligent, and pods, which are usually composed of related females, have a great ability to work together and an amazing instinct to protect members of their community. Their society is intricate, dedicated, and perfectly adapted to being the ocean's top predator.
Yeah, we're surrounded, Coyote.
This is amazing. We are surrounded by orcas right now, guys.
A toothed whale, and the largest species of dolphin in the world, there are 3 different types: resident, transient, and offshore. The distinction comes in the shape of their dorsal fin and the design of their saddle patch, which is the grayish marking just behind and below the dorsal fin.
Whoa.
Wow. That's a huge male. Did you see that?
Yeah.
There's the male.
Whoa.
That one's coming right at
This
us.
one's coming right at us, man. So what do? We just stay put?
Yeah, we just have to stay put. We don't know where they're gonna come up.
Right there, right there, right there. Woo! That is awesome!
For nearly 20 minutes, the pod graced us with their presence as they continuously breached the waves, took a breath, and then dove back beneath the surface. I kept my focus on the water, and I distinctly remember holding my breath as I hoped for just one more chance to film the magic. Yet just as quickly as they had arrived, they seemed to have disappeared.
All right, guys, well, the light is getting low, and it's time for us to row back toward the main boat, where we saw some amazing killer whales today. They got so close as we were just drifting along on the waves. We had a pod buzz right past us, heading that direction. Wow, that was absolutely incredible. Woo! Yeah. That was epic, guys. Yeah! Man, that's crazy. It is unbelievable how big they are. They come out of nowhere. You're like watching one in one direction, and then all of a sudden, one comes up just behind you.
You can sense their presence, like you know they're there.
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
As we safely climbed from our kayaks and back on board the Blackfish, I could feel an overwhelming sense of thankfulness for the universe as it led us toward this fateful moment in time. Such an epic day, getting deployed out into the ocean, kayaking for several hours, and then having a pod of orcas come right up alongside the kayaks is a moment that I will never forget. The killer whale, the blackfish, the orca. No matter how you choose to address this beautiful animal, it is undoubtedly the top predator of the world's oceans. Their elegance and timeless beauty are unmatched in the animal kingdom. When you see a family pod in the wild, their presence touches your heart in a way that cannot be described in words. I know that for as long as I live, I will never forget the first moment I spotted that black dorsal fin cutting through the waves, and the thrill of how it felt to be in the presence of orcas. Massive rock formations towered like prehistoric giants as intense waves crashed upon the jagged outcrops. At high tide, the southern coastline of Africa is an unforgiving landscape that has been carved over millions of years. Yet when the tide rolls back, with it recedes the violence of the turbulent water, leaving behind an intricate catacomb of intertidal pools that are teeming with aquatic life. Today we are exploring a stretch of pristine shoreline known as Kenton-on-Sea, a magical place where the South Atlantic meets the Indian Ocean, and to say the least, it's breathtakingly beautiful. The sand was flawless, the waves of water were warm, and with any luck, we would happen upon and get up close with a variety of bizarre tide pool creatures.
The tide is going out at this point. Looks like it's still coming in, but it's actually the best time to search for animals. When all the rocks are still saturated, that means that the animals are still comfortable, which gives us the best chance of actually catching them.
The water trapped within the individual pools was crystal clear. So as I scouted from pocket to pocket, I carefully scanned the overhanging ledges and shadowy nooks. If there was ever a place for a sea beast to hide, I was determined to be the seeker.
We've got a decent-sized crab down here in this little rock pool. There's actually a little blenny next to it as well, which is a small little fish that'll oftentimes sit on the edges of these little cliffs. It's tempting to not go for them both at the same time. We'll see what happens. I'm really after the crab, though. I'm going to use this net because it's a deep pocket of water. Got it! Yes! Yeah. Wow, what a scoop! I almost got the blenny at the same time. All right, that's a pretty decent-sized little crab right there. Look at you. Look at those distinct striped markings on the legs. Now, I'm gonna actually have to look this one up in a field guide. I'm not sure exactly what species it is. Let me keep it in the net like that just for a second. Uh-oh. Oh.
Nice guy.
Okay, and I lost him. Hold on. Oh, I got a blenny! 2 of them! Okay, game on! All right, well,
Lost the crab, got a blenny.
Oh, there's the crab. Got him. Now I've got the crab and some blennies. Wow! Hold on, that's how I got away the first time. Look at that, how's about that for cleaning up your mess? All right, well, this is really panning out well for us. Look at these guys. Come here, buddy. I got 2 of them in 1 scoop. All right, let me keep the crab underneath the net. He'll be fine. They can breathe out of water. Look at that. Those are blennies. Those are super cool. They almost look like mud skippers or like an eel-type fish. Notice the elongated shape of the body. Kind of looks like a prickleback. And they do have those long dorsal ridge fins that run down the length of their backs. They actually can breathe for a short amount of time out of the water, so we don't have to worry about them just resting up on my hand. And they can actually skip from pocket of water to pocket of water. What they'll oftentimes do is exactly, oh my gosh, there's an octopus. Nobody move. That's a huge octopus. Okay.
You sure?
I'm 100% positive. I'm gonna let the crab go. All right, I'm going for the octopus, guys. We're abandoning the crab.
I see him.
Nobody move. I can see its tentacle. Mario, if you crouch down here, you might be able to get a shot. Actually, I wonder if I can use my GoPro. He's wedged right into that little cavity.
Can you see?
Yeah. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually place my net up in this area, try to reach my arm around and scare him up into the net. Now the good thing is that none of the octopus species here in South Africa are lethal to humans. Keep in mind, if we were in Australia and that was a blue ring octopus, I would not be performing this maneuver. Now, all octopus are capable of biting, all are venomous, but hopefully this one doesn't decide to give me a nip.
He's out, he's right there. He's right there. He's right here.
I see him. Oh! Dude, you see him? Where? Right there. He's moving. Right there, he's going through here. There he is. You got him. Got it! Yes! Woo! How about that? Well, the tactic worked. Gently coax him out of one pocket and into the next, and there you have it. We have got ourselves an octopus. Wow. I'm gonna actually let him out of the net and onto my arm. Hopefully I do not take a bite. There you go, buddy. Now they do have a little beak on their underside that of course he could give me a bite with, but the venom of this species is non-lethal. This is the common octopus. They can get bigger than this, but to be honest with you guys, this is the largest octopus I have ever caught, and it is on the move. Wow, look at it, just showing us its valves. Right now I'm trying to keep it as calm as I can. I don't want it to ink, and look how it's turning dark in coloration, but if I do this, check this out. Set it down and sort of try to corral it into this pool. What it wants to feel is like it's protected. Look at that color change. Within a matter of seconds, it completely morphs the shape of its body and its coloration. Got an okay shot there?
Yeah.
This is actually great. You can see it pumping water through the valves on the side of its head. If I keep it like this, it will feel more comfortable. They want to feel concealed. Wow, look at that. And they want to feel like they are hidden. And just like if I were to handle a snake, I want to go one hand to the next. Octopus have 8 tentacles, and one of the coolest things about these creatures is that if they lose a tentacle, they can rejuvenate it. Wow, that is so cool, like a big slimy booger. All right, I'm gonna place it back down into this pocket of water. Here we go, keep in position, and I'm getting totally slimed right now. All right, now if I just keep my hand positioned, watch the way that it will actually slink. I guess it's gonna go over my arm. I thought he was gonna go under my arm. And as the tide goes out, if these animals are stuck in a shallow pool, they can do this. Slink from pocket of water to pocket of water. That is so cool. Now, one of the key defense tactics of all octopuses for plural, is that they can actually eject ink. and that allows them the ability to disappear into a rock crevice or back into the ocean waters. Now, if the octopus needs to, it can actually stay out of the water for a significant amount of time. And the only reason you'd ever find an octopus out of water is if it's moving from tide pool to tide pool. As that tide recedes, the octopus, if it's not in a deep enough pocket, will oftentimes try to find itself back out into the ocean currents. Look at that. Well, how cool was this? Exploring the tide pools of South Africa, and we managed to come across one slippery, slimy octopus. Whoa! All right, buddy, time to get you back into your pocket. All right, buddy, back into your tide pool.
As I released the octopus back into its watery realm, we witnessed an incredible sight. The most classic octopi defense maneuver, ink and jet.
Whoa!
Just got inked.
And as it disappeared back into the cavernous rocks, I came to the realization that never before had a single pool of ocean water provided us with so many species. This isolated miniature biome was an absolute goldmine of bizarre aquatic creatures, and I felt incredibly fortunate to have successfully gotten so many of them up close for the cameras. The coastline of Australia varies greatly from region to region, and along the Sunshine Coast, you will find a plethora of rich, mangrove-lined inlets known as estuaries. An estuary is a partially enclosed body of brackish water, which means that it is comprised from both a fresh and saltwater source. These ecosystems are influenced by the rising and falling of the tide, and are considered to be one of the most biodiverse natural habitats in the world. Today we are exploring near the town of Malani. This beautiful stretch of rolling hills and coastal land is the perfect backdrop for an episode of Beyond the Tide.
All right, guys. Well, this is going to be our first Beyond the Tide episode here in Australia, and our target species is the stingray. As you can see right here, I have a big, sturdy net. I'm gonna need this if I want to catch one of these creatures and get it up close for the cameras. We're at low tide right now, so there's a good chance we're gonna come across one. Now, I will be looking for shadows in the water, and I want you guys to do the exact same thing. If you see something moving, let me know, and we're gonna hopefully be able to catch it.
Quick question.
Yeah.
I've heard that walking in water like this is kind of dangerous when there's stingrays around. How do you do that?
Yes. The key movement today is going to be shuffling our feet. So watch this.
You want to kind of be moving like this. And the reason for that
Is that the rays will oftentimes bury themselves down in the sandy silt. You don't want to step straight down on top of one of those barbs. It will go right through your foot. So by shuffling your feet, if you kick a ray, you'll scare it and it will take off and you'll avoid getting stung. All right, guys, so everybody just drag your feet today when we're walking. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's head this direction. Going with the wind.
Brackish water tends to be incredibly cloudy, as tidal movement causes sediment on the estuary basin to be in constant turmoil. This environmental challenge made spotting animals incredibly difficult.
Water's actually a little clearer in this area. You can see the wind has actually kind of died down. We've got a little bit more plant cover that's blocking the wind. Let's slowly venture out into this direction. Let me lead. I'll let you know if I see anything. And remember, continue to drag your feet, because if I walk past something and don't disturb it, there's a chance that you could step right on top of one of those barbs. So drag those feet, guys.
As we continued inward toward an exposed sandbar, the tides of luck began to turn, and there before us, the shadow of a stingray began to materialize beneath the surface.
Got it?
I do not.
Oh, shoot. That was close.
That was close though. I think I got just on top of it. I could feel it pulling. Actually, it was so big it might not fit in the net. But that was our good first shot at it. We definitely are seeing rays now. It's just a matter of actually being able to scoop one up in the net. And I think that's the play. Once I get close to it and it starts to move, I need to sort of explode into action and try to scoop it. And what I'm trying to do is get the net in front of its nose and then pull backwards. Okay, well, we're getting close.
All right, good first shot.
Keep looking.
Right here, right here.
I see it, I see it.
Get him.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, he's right here. He's right here in front of me. He's right here. Dude, he's right here. Look at him, look at him. There you go, he's looking. See his wake? See his wake? Yeah. Put these sunglasses on. Put these sunglasses on. You need to see him. Put that on.
He's right here.
Right there, right there, right there, in front of him. In front of him. You got it, you got it.
He's turning back, you ready?
Don't let him get out into the open.
You get him?
I got it, I got it, I got it.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa, 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 hold on, it's trying to get on the net. Woo! All right. Good spotting, guys. Mario handed off his polarizing sunglasses to me right in the middle of that. Changed the game immediately, and I was able to see it so much better.
Look at the spots, that's awesome.
All right, guys, so we have to be really careful here. I'm trying to determine where its barb is. I see it right on the back of the tail there. Okay, it appears that this is a mask ray. Now let me do this. You see those eyes up front there? Wow, so bizarre looking. All right, guys, so that we can get this ray up close for the cameras, it's gonna be very hard for me to handle this. Also dangerous because of the venomous barb, but there's a little pocket of water up here. Let's place it in that pocket and we'll be able to observe it in the water and in a situation that we can keep control. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna quickly move it up here. All right, let's get it into this pocket of water here. Let me check the temperature first. Yeah, this is plenty cool. This is perfect. Okay, I'm gonna let it gently sort of swim out here. Nice. Okay. Okay.
That's a great ray, man.
It really is. Look at the eyeballs. Look just like the eyes of a crocodile positioned on top of its head there. Now, some species of rays have very wide set eyes, and they don't have the best eyesight. And similar to sharks, they have sensory organs on the front of their noses that allow them to sense for their prey. Now, this species, I can tell you this much, I actually have my finger in its mouth right now. It doesn't have teeth. It just has these flat plates that it uses to grab onto its food and grind it up. Now, some species of rays do in fact have teeth. You can see I'm constantly trying to move here because it is capable of spinning its tail around, and what I don't want to take is a sting from that barbed tail. Let me turn it like this. And while I'm talking about what it eats small crustaceans, little fish, mollusks. They're pretty opportunistic. And a ray of this size would even take something like a small octopus. But I know what you guys are really interested in is that tail. And look at that, this one has 2 venomous spines. Those are modified dermal dendrites, basically like scales growing out of this creature's body. And it does have a very narrow row of them down the middle of the spine. And there at the tail, double stinger. Now, that stinger is laced with venom, and similar to a lionfish, they actually have a membrane-like sheath over the stinger, and when it inserts into something that's trying to attack it, that sheath sort of peels away and the venom is then leaked into whatever it is that's being stung. Now, they do not use their stingers at all for catching their food. They're strictly used as a defense mechanism. And as you can see, it's kind of flicking its tail around there, just trying to keep my fingers away from that tail. Now, some ray species have 2 stingers like this one. Many only have a single stinger, and some species stingers can grow up to 1 foot in length. Tell you what you don't want to happen, a foot-long stinger going through your arm. Let me see if I can just slowly lift you up there a little bit, buddy. Now, the gills of this creature are actually on the underside of its body, and what I'm gonna do now is try to lift it up by just holding on to the base of the tail. Nope, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that because the tail of this species is short. Let me give that one more try though. I can hold on to these air holes and the back of its tail like this, trying not to take a sting. This doesn't hurt it in any way whatsoever. Look at the underside there and see if you can see those gills. Can you see the gills under there?
Hold it there. You can see the mouth working too.
There you go, buddy. And that's about as much as I want to try to actually handle this animal. And as you can see, it's breathing by passing water over its gills. And you see these 2 air vents right here? The water comes in through the mouth, past the gills, and then out through these little orifices right there. Similar to an octopus, the way that an octopus can shoot water out of those little valves on the side of its body, this guy's also capable of shooting water off to the sides.
So he's breathing just fine right now.
Oh yeah, he's completely fine. And like I said, I want to try to handle it as little as possible. Now, because we know that rays are related to sharks, you may be asking yourself, well, Coyote, does its skin feel just like a shark? Is it scratchy like sandpaper? I honestly thought that this ray would be scratchy, but it's not. It's incredibly smooth and it has a gelatinous membrane covering its skin. Feels just like a frog or a salamander. Yeah, go ahead, touch it real gently there. Let me just kind of keep it positioned down.
Oh, wow.
How about that, right?
It does feel like an amphibian.
And look at the coloration. Almost looks like the coloration of the smoky jungle frog.
Actually, you know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
Green sea turtle.
Little bit. Well, and again, that camouflage is so incredibly crucial for this animal's survival. Look at this substrate, right? All these little snails and this sand. So this creature laying on the basin of the river stays perfectly hidden. Now, the way that they hunt is using something called defensive mimicry, right? That works in two ways. Partially to hide them from predators, but also to keep them hidden for anything that wanders into their territory. So something wanders close, it can lunge forward and grab onto it and eat it. That's obviously also considered ambush predatory, where it stays in one spot and waits for its food to come to it. Okay, just lift it up just a little bit and look at the unique design of this animal's body. You see that? Look at that.
You don't realize that rays have fins on the back.
No, they do, and that helps to control the direction in which they move. Now, there are over 200 species of rays worldwide, and they come in so many different unique shapes and sizes. And for a mask ray, this is about average size, maybe even considered large for this species. But some species, like the manta ray, can grow to be massive in length, from the tip of one wing to the tip of the other, close to 15 feet in length.
Wow.
All right, he's getting close to wanting to head back off into the river. But let's talk about that barb one more time. Now, if you are stung by a stingray, fear not, it is not going to kill you. The venom is just extremely painful. And the way to actually stop that venom from hurting is to submerge the stung appendage of your body in pretty hot water, pretty much as hot as you can stand. Very similar to the sting of a lionfish. And one thing that you do need to be wary of, though, is that that barb has the potential of breaking off in the wound. So you want to make sure you seek medical attention and get that looked at. All right, guys, I think at this point, this ray is ready to head back off into the river. But how cool was this? Coming out here into the Australian estuaries and finally catching and getting up close for the cameras, a stingray. All right, let's get this guy back into the river.
Stingrays are naturally docile and non-threatening toward humans. However, they have the potential to be dangerous if provoked. When walking in an area where these marine creatures may be present, it's advised to cautiously drag your feet through the sand and sediment. This tactic decreases the chances of accidentally stepping on a resting stingray, and in turn, lessens your odds of ever feeling the wrath from that venomous stinger.
All right, and there he goes. Man, that was awesome.
Man, you caught one.
That took some effort though, didn't it?
Yeah, man, that was a perfect size ray though.
Yeah, anything bigger than that, it wasn't gonna fit in the net. So, all right guys, our first official stingray episode is in the books. Today we're on location in the Florida Keys at a very famous spot called Robbie's. This is Christina Wilson, wildlife biologist and adventure extraordinaire. Christina, what are we doing today?
We are going to be feeding tarpon, which is one of the world's largest fighting fish.
This is the only place in the world that you can hang off of a dock and feed these fish by hand. Now me personally, I've caught some big fish. Alligator gar, white sturgeon, even a blue catfish. And that one did bite me. How big can the tarpon grow?
They can get up to 8 feet and 280 pounds. Yeah.
280-pound fish on your arm. I have a feeling that this episode is going to be a screamer. Ready to feed some fish?
Let's do this.
We're gonna feed you to the fish. See what happens. This looks like as good a spot as any. All right, so we've got our bucket of fish. There are no tarpon in front of us at the moment. Now, part of the tactic for getting the fish here is to get a little bit of scent in the water and also a little bit of disturbance. Wanna smack the water, see if we can get them here?
Oh, all right.
Hopefully you're not bitten first.
Here, tarpon, tarpon, tarpon. Oh, just threw a bait fish in there, didn't you?
I'm trying to get the fish here. A little bit of scent, a little bit of disturbance. So why is this location so famous for seeing tarpon? Many years ago, there was a giant tarpon by the name of Scarface who was found out in the water with his face cut from a boat propeller. The owners here at Robbie's brought it into captivity and stitched it back up. They rehabilitated it and released it into these waters. Who would have ever thought that you could save a tarpon? What ultimately happened is that the tarpon stayed in this area, and as it was being fed and rejuvenated back to life, it began to bring in other tarpons. So you must ask yourselves, do fish communicate with each other? Did Scarface say to the other tarpon, hey, people here are gonna actually help and feed you and ultimately bring in all these fish? Who knows? But today, there are dozens of these tarpon here in the waters where you can come down yourself and hand feed these fish.
Here we go, we got one.
When it comes to fish bites, I've been bitten by a piranha and I've been bitten by a blue catfish.
You're losing.
I got him. A piranha have razor sharp teeth, which of course is gonna cut you open like a hot knife through butter. But the other fish I was bitten by, the blue catfish, has very small compact teeth that almost work together like rough sandpaper grates rubbing up against each other. So imagine a really fine cheese grater digging into your skin. That is the same tooth structure that is built into the tarpon's mouth. Only the mouth of a tarpon.
Oh, you almost got one.
Yeah, you thought about it? The mouth of a tarpon is much larger than the mouth of a blue catfish.
Right. They've actually been known to straighten fishing hooks because that's how strong their jaw are. Wow. Ooh, yeah!
Oh, man. Tip of the finger. Ow.
That was a good one.
Wow, so the speed and the power and the bony nature of these fish's skulls just jammed my finger straight into itself. That really, really hurt.
That one nicked me. That one nicked me.
So Christina, what we're seeing here is the athletic ability of these fish. And look at the way they're just bam, hitting the surface. And that's the thing that for anglers that makes them so exciting, right? It's all about the fight and that bite.
Yeah, and then they got this beautiful jump out of the water. So I'm assuming that your arm might be completely engulfed at some point.
That's Scarface right here.
This one?
Yes, this is Scarface. So this fish is massive. She dwarfs all the, oh my gosh, there she is right there. Oh my gosh. All right, we gotta get Scarface up to the surface. This is the nibble method.
Nibble. Woo! I still got my fish.
What's really cool about the jaw structure is they have this impressive underbite. So they gulp their prey in, right? Just power and force and that mouth opening. And if we get that shot of seeing how wide these fish can open their mouths, an entire human head could fit inside of the mouth of Scarface. Ooh! First blood. What happened?
Man, it nicked me.
That's it? That was just a nick?
That was just a nick. So imagine your whole hand being in there.
One thing that I can tell you, one of the scariest moments I've ever had on the Brave Wilderness channel was catching the blue catfish. Being underwater and placing my hand into the Catfish Hotel and having that fish grab onto my wrist and shake it. I thought it was going to break my wrist. Legit, that was the power. So it was really difficult to go back under there and take a second attempt. So that fish was a fraction of the size of these fish. Any fear that one of these could possibly break your wrist?
After this, yeah.
Okay.
I'm afraid I'm gonna get pulled in, and then there's gonna be a feeding frenzy.
Well, the good news is that tarpon do not eat humans. They are fish eating experts, but Christina's officially drawn first blood, so let's see where this goes. Now, if you hold it by the tip of the tail, the tarpon will probably pull it out of your fingers. However, if you hold the fish down like this, the tarpon will engulf your hand. Now, I would never recommend you guys try doing this if you visit Robbie's. You don't want to get bitten by one of these fish. Their sharp little sandpaper-like teeth will rip up your skin. Alrighty, this is it. Officially chomped by a tarpon. I mean, it's nerve-wracking just to hold the tip of the tail and have them come to the surface. So, the idea of one engulfing your hand, feeling the power of those jaws and the grit of those teeth, man, this is gonna be it. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to be chomped by a giant tarpon.
Scarface is waiting.
Where's Scarface? Oh, That was a good hit. Not super high out of the water though.
What do you think all of these fish range size-wise right now?
On average, 3 to 4 feet. I don't know if that was Scarface, but that was a big one. All right, first real chomp there. Yep. Oh yeah.
I thought I drew blood, but.
All right, second go. Here we are. Waiting for Scarface. There she is. Come on, Scarface. Waiting for a big one.
She's right here, she's right here.
Oh,
So close.
that's nerve-wracking. Oh man, knocked it right out of my hand. Okay. Ah, this is nerve-wracking. Scarface, where are you? Go big or go home. Be brave, face Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. Where are you, buddy? I want to feel the wrath of Scarface. There.
You still have the fish.
Still got the fish.
She's coming. She's coming for you. She's
Here
coming.
she is. Here she is.
She's coming.
Oh! Not Scarface though. Wow, that is intense. As you can see, they definitely light me up, but it's not cutting deep into the skin. It's more like a bad rug burn, a bloody rug burn. Ah! Was that Scarface?
Oh, I think so.
That was a huge fish. I think that was Scarface with the sneak attack.
Dude, that was massive.
Wow, that one definitely did a number on my arm. All right.
Oh my gosh, man.
Man, that was a hit. That was a hit and a half. This side of my arm,
That's gnarly.
the fish came in from the back. I didn't even see it coming. Okay. I'm pretty sure that was Scarface. Okay, at that juncture, I think I've taken the hits that I need to take.
Yeah.
And it was really the hit on this side that I think was probably the worst. And most likely Scarface. Woo! So there you have it. Hand feeding giant tarpon off the dock at Robbie's. Christina, how was this experience for you?
This was insane.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's important to note that dangling a fish from the tip of its tail, totally safe. Holding the fish in the palm of your hand and letting the tarpon take your hand, not recommended for anyone to try at home. As you can see from my arm, it's a pretty painful experience.
Ooh, it's almost time to head out to sea. How you feeling?
Well, you'd think I'd be excited, which I guess I am, but I'm also out there looking for my fate, which is ultimately being stung by a lionfish.
That's our boat.
All right.
Watch your step coming down here. Life Aquatic. All right, wow. Well, we got a lot of great space on board here to set up all of our gear.
Not diving today. We're actually gonna free dive.
Yeah, we are going to be snorkeling to get these lionfish. They'll be in shallower water. Now they are located deeper and shallow. I mean, they're all over the place from what I hear. So we've got about 6 hours out on the water, and hopefully in that amount of time, we're gonna come back with a lionfish.
Today we are heading off the coast of Isla Morada. We will be searching for one of these invasive fish with the ultimate goal of showing you how to treat the effects of their painful sting, which is often experienced by both fishermen and divers. Native to the Indo-Pacific, these fish were first reported off of Florida's Atlantic coast in 1985 and quickly began to spread up the eastern seaboard. With no natural predators beside humans, the lionfish has become invasive enemy number one. No one knows for sure how these fish were introduced to the area, but their numbers have increased rapidly over the last 30 years, so finding one should not be that difficult.
All right, guys, well, we've made it to our first dive site. We are just off of the Florida Keys. You've got the shore in the background, and we're not too far out. You can actually see the bottom of the ocean just off the back of the boat, which is perfect for snorkeling. I'm gonna trade in my adventure cowboy hat for mask, a snorkel, and a dive suit. We're gonna head down there and try to catch the notorious lionfish. This is one of the most invasive species out here in these waters, and our captain tells us there is a 100% chance we're gonna catch one, which means for you guys, I'm definitely going to be stung.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
All right, Mario.
All right, buddy. See you later.
Yeah.
Positioned just off of a shallow reef, we began to explore the craggy rocks. The slow-moving lionfish is very distinct with its feathery-looking fins and calm disposition. As long as we spotted one, catching it should be no problem. In total, we searched for about 30 minutes. It didn't take long at all, because soon enough, we had a lionfish in our sights.
I see it.
Yep.
It came back out for the coral. It's just floating there.
All right, let's try to get it.
This was my moment. Time to net the invader. I held my breath and kicked hard. Closing in on the fish, I scooped forward, and after a little finesse of the net, I made the catch. I did it! I caught a lionfish. Making sure to keep the spines away from myself and the crew, I swam toward the surface.
Got him. Here you have it.
What a beauty.
Wow, it's making a run for it. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Oh, man. Did you get that?
that was awesome.
Wow, okay. We'll stay back a little bit from me. Let's head back to the boat. We got our fish.
Let's do it.
Woo!
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The lionfish.
There
Look
it
out
is.
for that here. I'll
Can I
grab
bring
it.
that up? Got that GoPro here.
Look at that fish. Beauty too. Gorgeous.
Wow. There you have it. Look at those spines. I would say that the stage is set for me to be stung by the lionfish. Okay, let's get it into this bucket and let's get back to shore.
In case you were wondering, this invasive fish will not be released back into the wild, but instead will be donated to a research group in South Florida.
Okay,
I see a tank. We need a fish.
here comes the fish. Now, I'm gonna just scoop it up with this spoon and plop him into the aquarium. You ready?
Yep.
Here he comes. 1, 2, 3. Whoop. There you go, buddy.
Wow. You can see why people keep them in their aquariums.
Oh, they're absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you can see why it's called a lionfish. With those pectoral fins all spread out, it almost looks like the mane of a lion. Now, they're also known as red zebrafish. As you can see, those red stripes kind of make it look like a red zebra. Many different names for this fish, but one thing and one thing only that we know is that this is an invasive species here in South Florida, and they can give you a pretty nasty prick with those spines. Now, let's look at some of the anatomy of this fish. Whew, wow. First of all, those dorsal spines that you see running along the top ridge of the fish, all 13 of those are laced with venom. The venom on these spines is actually in grooves that run along the side of the spines. And you can see those fleshy things hanging off the side, right?
Yeah, what is that?
See that? These are actually sheaths that the spines are in. So when the fish gets agitated, those spines come through the fleshy sheaths and then the venom is exposed. So whatever gets, spined onto there has the venom go into its system.
So those sheaths actually help put venom on the spines too, right?
They do. It kind of lubricates it with venom, and then when the spine goes into your hand, well, that's how the venom enters your body. Now, there are a couple different methods that I could
use to go about being
Yeah,
spined
how are you
here.
going to do this? This seems really precarious to
Well,
me.
the most dangerous thing and the thing that would be really unintelligent would be to actually put my hands in like this and try to pick up the fish from the side. The ventral spines are shorter and thicker, and they will actually put more venom into me than I care to have put into my body today. The dorsal spines also will inflict a lot of venom, but I want to replicate what oftentimes happens to divers when they run into these fish, which is getting spined by the dorsal ridge. So I'm going to pick the fish up by its jaw. It's not going to hurt it in any way whatsoever. That dorsal ridge of spines is going to fan up like that because it's going to feel threatened. It's out of the water, and I am going to whack my hand down on top of those spines, and venom is going to go into my skin.
Well, you've gone through some stings and some bites. How are you feeling about this particular experiment, if you will?
Well, this will be my first marine stinging. Technically, it's not a sting. It's a stabbing or a barbing or a spiking. And I'm a little nervous because I don't know how my body will react to marine life venom. We do have an epinephrine pen with us, as always. We're also back here in civilization, so if anything goes extremely wrong, if my body were to go into anaphylactic shock, we do have local medical experts on call, ready to receive me if something bad happens.
And you're good to go with this.
No, I'm sweating. I'm nervous. My heart is racing. You can see the fish is completely calm right now, just there resting on the bottom of the...
Oh.
Ooh.
That's how you get it.
That scared me.
There's
He flicked
water
his
all
tail
over your
at me. Yeah, how'll that make you jump? Well, I thought I was gonna get it from the ventral spines. There are 3 large spines on the back that they'll flick your tail and get you with. He didn't get me there, which is good, but I think we're getting close. Okay, we are just literally a couple minutes away from me being stung by the lionfish. You guys know I get nervous right before I do these things. Oh, those are some big spines. I've never been spined by a marine creature before. I have no idea how my body's gonna react to this venom, which makes me even more nervous.
It is time.
GoPro is officially rolling. Okay, now I'm gonna pick the fish up from the front of its jaw, and then I'm going to drop my hand on top of the spikes. Now, I may be spined in the process of getting it out of there. If that happens, I'm just gonna run with the scene, okay? Depending on how bad it is, okay? I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm actually gonna use the wooden spoon to turn it around. I wanna hold it with my left hand. I'm actually gonna position it. Look at that, look at how it's turning the spines into the spoon. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's like instinctively like positioning the spines to attack its predator.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get it by the mouth. You ready?
Yep. Careful. Careful.
Okay, I've got it.
You have the mouth?
Got it by the mouth. There we go. There it is.
Oh my goodness. We're
Look
here
at the
at the
display
moment.
of those spines. Wow. Okay. Now I'm gonna drop my hand down on top of those. You got a decent shot?
Yeah, can you position the fish a little more at me?
Yep, let me kind of hold it out like that so you can see it.
Oh wow. I cannot believe you're about to do this. Oh buddy.
I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the spike zone with the lionfish. 1, 2, here we go. 3.
You alright? Did he get you?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what you're feeling right now. What's it feel like? Does it hurt?
Oh, pinpricks. Oh, yep.
Oh man.
It's actually really not that bad. But it is, keep in mind, a neurotoxin. It's gonna take a couple minutes for this to set in. It's not instantaneous like a wasp, tarantula hawk, or even the bullet ant. You see where the spines went in. There, and I think his body kind of turned.
I got like 4 spinings.
Is it hot?
Nope, fingers are getting a little stiff. Yep, I'm feeling something now. Hold on a second. Ooh, ooh.
The fish is okay.
Fish looks good. That's what you get, he says, for picking me up. Oh, wow. Yeah, oh, wow. Oh, it's kind of coming in a wave. Oh, you know what that's indicative of?
Gila monster.
Gila monster.
Yep.
Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, I'm gonna take this thing off of my wrist.
Feeling any swelling or?
Yep, I can feel my arm getting tight, and this is actually cutting off the circulation. And what you don't want to do is cut off the circulation. Oh my gosh. Oh man, dude, feel my forearm, dude. That's like instant. Squeeze under here, under there.
Oh yeah. Jeez. Arms on.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, it's burning good now. I felt the spikes go in and thought to myself, oh, that's kind of like a pinprick. Big pin, but a pinprick nonetheless. I kind of got up and said, that's not that bad.
How long will this last?
Oh, it's gonna last until I get my hand in some hot water. Not boiling hot. I want as hot as I can stand because that heat will actually break down the proteins in the venom and it should dissipate. But oh wow, okay, it's getting worse, guys. It's getting worse and I'm getting dizzy.
Hey, Mark, should we take it to get the hot water?
Yeah, I think we should probably wrap this up.
Okay. No. Gotta get an outro. Okay, well, as we can see, the sting from the lionfish is extremely painful. If you are stung, seek medical attention as quickly as possible. You never know how your body is going to react to venom in a situation like this. It's an invasive species. It's a fish that's very easy to come across here in the southern part of Florida and up and down the east coast of the United States. If you see a lionfish in the wild, just admire it from a safe distance. It's the most important thing you can do. Do not try to capture these fish. Okay, I'm getting dizzy.
Here, just sit down a minute. Sit down.
Okay, let's get you home.
Here.
Oh man, dude, I'm lightheaded.
All right,
I'm lightheaded, yeah. All right, maybe it is a little worse than I thought.
Australia is home to many reptilian species. And while several of them are found within the confines of the continent's interior, beyond the tide, you will find one of the world's most cherished animals, the green sea turtle. In the past, I've had the chance to swim alongside these elegant and timeless beings, yet strict regulations prohibit anyone from making physical contact with these reptiles. However, on this adventure, that is all about to change. Today, the crew and I are heading off the coast of Bowen, a small town situated at the top of the Whitsundays on the eastern side of Queensland. Under the invitation of the World Wildlife Fund, we will be given the chance to work alongside the traditional owner rangers from Jaru and Bindal people. These rangers take responsibility for the management and protection of their sea country, including iconic species like the green sea turtle. Their work includes safely catching, collecting data, and tagging these magnificent marine reptiles so scientists can then determine what is happening to the turtle population and ensure that the species is continuing to thrive in these warm waters.
And as a Birragubba Jiru elder, I'd like to welcome you to country and hope you have a good day.
Coyote, what's going on?
Doing a smoke ceremony right now, and the flames are just welcoming us into this community.
I consider myself to be an expert when it comes to catching turtles, and my method of leaping from kayaks to catch snapping turtles has often proven to be incredibly successful. Catching sea turtles, however, is a very, different challenge. As compared to snapping turtles, these ocean-dwelling reptiles are incredibly fast, and instead of leaping feet first from a slow-rowing kayak, I will be jumping from a speeding boat. The good news is that I will be apprenticing a man who I now consider to be the greatest turtle catcher of all time, Aaron Taters. He will be showing me the tricks of the trade that he has spent several years mastering and which have resulted in the safe capture, data collection, tagging, and release for hundreds of sea turtles.
So what are you looking for, Aaron? You looking for shadows in the water?
Yeah, we're looking for a sort of a dark brown figure.
Okay.
We'll see the turtles, they'll either sit still or they'll make a move for it. The moment they move, we tell Eddie, yep, he's off to the right, and that's what we'll chase him then.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is kind of the same way I search for snapping turtles. I look for a dark shadow beneath the surface, wait for it to start moving. I know it's not a rock, and then you make it go.
Yep. Sometimes you will get confused because there's a lot of stingray around here. So just before you sing out, yeah, there's a turtle, just make sure you see his flippers first, and then start chasing.
Goodyear to one, this is Little Gungu. Any turtles sighted yet?
Not yet, but we're working on it. We'll keep you posted.
Roger that. Over and out.
There he is there. To the right.
Got a turtle to our right here. He's just in front of us.
Going left.
So really quick. Going left.
Upon spotting several smaller turtles and witnessing their impressive speed, I quickly realized that catching a sea turtle was going to be much more difficult than I had originally anticipated.
There's a big turtle here, big one, big one.
Go.
Yes! Ah, yeah! Nice catch!
Oh, that was a rough miss. But the good news is that Aaron was right there to follow up with an epic dive and successful catch. Boy, does he make it look easy.
Ah! 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 Dude, I had his front flipper in my hand.
Yeah, I thought that's
I had his flipper.
I said he's got it.
Ah! Well, great catch again, Aaron. Dude, that was epic. All right. I was so close. That was the one. I had the entire flipper in my hand and it went whoop right out. I tried to grab the back of the shell, couldn't do it. But at least we caught the turtle. Let's get it onto the research boat, get the biometrics, keep at it.
As a team, our rate of success was fantastic, yet my personal performance was lackluster at best. I could feel that my confidence for catching sea turtles was beginning to sink. Yet Aaron, being the incredible mentor that he was, continued to encourage and critique my style.
Yeah, I see him. Way too deep.
It's harder than it looks, folks.
Man, it was the same thing before. I was not in front of the turtle.
Time was running out, and my window to land a giant was beginning to close, when the boat slowly motored into a clear stretch of water that revealed a massive dark shadow beneath the surface.
All right, guys, we got a good turtle out in front of us. Camera's rolling, this could be it.
This was it. The pressure was on, and I would only have one dive, one chance to catch this turtle.
Yep.
Aaron kept his sights locked on the speeding reptile, waiting for an opportune moment when it would slow its forward momentum and prepare to breach the surface for a breath of air. This would be my window of opportunity, and in that instance, he shouted the command.
Go for it.
Oh!
turtle. That did not feel good. I jumped, grabbed the back of the shell. Woo! Man, that is a good sized turtle right there. Without question, the biggest turtle I have ever caught. Man! I told you guys I'd do it! Woo!
Oh, nice. That's a big one.
That's a male. That's a male. Woo! Look at that tail.
Oh, man.
My goodness.
That's a dragon tail.
Oh. Yes! Yes! Woo! That's my dragon right there! Man! Best turtle catch ever! Of my life, at least! Woo! Alright, guys, we gotta get the rest of our gear, get onto the research boat, get the biometrics, and then release this dragon back into the wild. Yes!
Yes!
I hope I caught all that on this camera. All right, guys, well, there we have it. There is the green sea turtle that I landed, and he is an absolute giant. This is the first male of the trip that we have caught. An absolute beast. Can you guys believe this?
I can't believe you caught it. That was an amazing catch.
Well, when I jumped into the water, I kind of went to the side. I grabbed the side of its shell, my hand slid down, I held onto the back of the shell and actually climbed up the side of it to get right behind the back of the carapace. And you can see how healthy this turtle is. Look at it is actually spilling out of its shell. I know, buddy. Now let's take a look at the carapace of this reptile. It is massive, and I love this teardrop shape. You see that? This allows these turtles to stay completely streamlined when they're swimming under the water. If you take a look here, look at the size of this turtle's tail. Just like a snapping turtle, male green sea turtles have an extremely long tail. Look at that. As long and as big around as my arm is. An absolute dragon tail right there. Now, you hear the name green sea turtle, and you may be thinking to yourselves, well, Coyote, it's mostly brown in coloration. Why do they call it a green sea turtle? That name comes from a thick layer of green fat that exists just beneath the bone of the carapace that insulates them between the bone and all of their main organs. I know, buddy, you just want to get back out there into the ocean, don't you? Now, this guy's just fine. Don't worry. Sea turtles can stay out of the water for an extended period of time. What a beautiful turtle. Look at those eyes. Such kind, intelligent eyes. And you may notice that the turtle's eyes are very wet. Almost looks like it's crying. It's not crying. All turtles are capable of secreting a mucus from their eye membrane to help keep their eyes wet when they're out of the water. This goes for all turtles. Painted turtles, snapping turtles, spiny soft shells, even sea turtles have the ability to secrete that mucus. Now, you'll notice the beak of this reptile is not hooked because unlike a snapping turtle, they're not out there actually hunting for prey. When they get to be this big, they're completely herbivores, just kind of sifting along the bottom, eating algae and seagrass. And the underside, oh, let me see, look at that. You see how the lower part of the jaw is actually serrated? They have bolt cutter-like power that would easily snip off the edge of your finger. So when I jumped into the water, the first thing I was thinking was, don't get my fingers near the mouth of the turtle.
All right, Coyote, I think, hey, Mario, why don't you jump in there and help Coyote with the turtle?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some help. This turtle is so unbelievably strong. It just wants to spin. We want to keep it as calm as we possibly can. There you go, buddy. Mario, you kind of got it locked in place there?
Yeah, sure did.
Okay, well, the first thing I'm gonna do is get the length of the carapace. Tracy, if you got that measuring tape, thank you. I know, buddy. I know. Shh, 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 shh. I'm trying to calm down. Sometimes what I do with snapping turtles is actually just to place my hand on top of the head. Try to talk a little bit quieter. Got him calmed down now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go right from the front edge of the carapace there. Mario, if you want to just hold that in place.
Yep, you're good.
Right down the center line. It is right at 94 centimeters.
Show me that real quick.
Check that out. Without question, the largest turtle I have ever caught. Thank you, Tracy. All right, now the next thing we want to do is get this turtle's weight. Get getting the turtle inside of this harness was one of the most difficult aspects of this whole episode so far. Do you guys have any guesses as to how much this turtle weighs?
240 pounds.
240 pounds. Mario?
250.
250.
Oh, okay.
Ben, what do you think?
Hey Ben, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 275.
275. Wow, all right. I'm gonna go 230.
230.
I say it weighs 230. And good, turtle is off the ground.
A little bit more.
Flying turtle.
Okay. Okay. He's clear.
104.1 kilos. Bring it down.
All right. 230 pounds.
Wow.
You were right on the
I guessed it, 230. Amazing, 230 pounds is what this green sea turtle weighs. What an absolute giant. Amazing, okay. The next thing we're gonna do is tag this sea turtle. This one has never been tagged before, so that's really exciting for today's research. Where I'm gonna tag it is right up here on its left fin between these two scales. You see that right there?
Now, is that a fin or a flipper, Coyote?
Oh, I guess, yeah, whether you call it a fin or you call it a flipper or a foot, sea turtles, and one of the things that really makes them different than other turtles is you can see they do not have typical toes. And like other turtles, they're not actually able to tuck inside of their shells, even less so than a snapping turtle. This isn't gonna hurt. This is gonna be like getting your ear pierced. I'm gonna do this as quickly and as smoothly as possible. You got a good shot right there, Mark?
Sure do.
All right, big guy. This is just
Now, their skin is really tough. This isn't hurting the turtle.
No, this skin is like leather. And I'm gonna ratchet down real tight here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Perfect. All right, the turtle is officially tagged, and as you guys know, I name all the turtles that I catch, and I think we're gonna name this one Eddie, after the man who so perfectly captained the ship today and lined us up to be able to make this catch possible. I did not expect to catch a turtle this size. I was just hoping that I could catch a single sea turtle, and after getting the chance to stand on the front of that boat and watch Aaron dive in and catch several turtles, I said to myself, you know what? I think I can pull this off, but to catch one of this size is truly something that I never thought was possible. Biggest turtle I have ever caught. Wow, what an epic end to one amazing day here in Australia. And I have to give an enormous thank you to the World Wildlife Fund of Australia and the Gujita Rangers for bringing us out, showing us the conservation work that they're doing, and all the efforts they're making to not only preserve, but also protect these incredible marine reptiles. All right, guys, it's time to get Eddie back off into the ocean.
The green sea turtle represents everything that is beautiful about our oceans, and they are considered to be one of the most revered reptiles on our planet. Their sentient nature has made them an iconic figure in the world of conservation, yet the future of this creature is unknown, as their species is either considered threatened or endangered throughout their worldwide range. Still, hope glows brightly on the horizon, as organizations like WWF and traditional owner rangers are constantly researching and promoting the environmental preservation and conservation of this species, ultimately ensuring a legacy for generations to come. As the sun breaks through the clouds and shines down upon my face, there are two things on my mind. The first is that Alaska is absolutely breathtaking. The second is that in just a couple minutes, I will be pinched by a giant Dungeness crab. Wait, what? Yep, you heard me right, pinched by a giant crab. Today we are in Haines, Alaska, and our first stop is the dock.
So if you want to get pinched by Dungeness crab, you gotta have the crab first. And I can't dive down to the bottom of the ocean to catch one, so today we're heading to the harbor so I can buy one.
Dungeness crabs live in deep water and are usually caught using crab pots. So for us to make this episode work, we actually have to buy a crab.
Got one.
Well, there you go. That looks like it'll do the trick right there. That's a pretty big set of pinchers. I think we all know what's gonna happen next.
The good news for the crab, who I have endearingly named Roscoe, is that after I am pinched, he is going to be released back into the wild.
All right, well, I've got my crab. Now we're just gonna take it to a good spot that we can film me getting pinched.
You know, the entire time I was hoping that this fisherman would never come back with these crabs. Now we have one. And my pointer finger is gonna feel the power of that claw pinch. I'm honestly pretty nervous right now it's gonna break my finger. They have these huge teeth-looking nodules on their claws. I didn't know they had those until I saw them. Kind of having second thoughts about this.
Dwelling primarily in eelgrass beds, the Dungeness crab gets its name from the town of Dungeness, Washington. It's one of the largest crab species in this region and is armed with a set of powerful claws that would even make a lobster jealous. I know what you were thinking. Coyote, why are you going to do this? And the answer is simple. To find out just how powerful these crabs really are. Can they break a human finger? We're about to find out.
All right, Coyote, so does the crab seem bigger in person? Is it as big as you thought it would be?
Yeah. Actually, I've never really seen a full-grown Dungeness crab. I did picture something a bit smaller in my head. He's down there in the water right now. We just have water flowing through his gills. We're actually allowing him to power up, if I dare say power up, to make this pinch a little more extreme. Grumpy old Roscoe getting ready to do a number on my pointer finger. Oh boy, this is gonna be bad.
The pinch of any crab species has the potential to be very painful. And if the crab, like this one, is big enough, there is a chance it could actually break a finger.
This is it. This is for science. Here we go. Bringing it up. Oh boy, he looks grumpy. In the past, I've been pinched by several species of crab. Remember the purple shore crab? That one hurt. You look at this crab and you're probably thinking to yourself, Coyote, that one's like 10 times the size. Yeah, it is. And take a look at those claws. They are armed with little serrated teeth. Now what I'm gonna do today is put my pointer finger into one of those claws to see just how powerful that pinch really is. Oh, I have a feeling that this is going to hurt. As long as it doesn't break my finger, I'm going to let this crab pinch me for 60 seconds. Never attempt to replicate what you are about to witness. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the pinch zone with the Dungeness crab. Ready?
Let's do it.
1, 2, here we go, 3. Ah! Oh! Oh, wow, that's pretty bad. Can you see that? Oh, he's got my whole finger locked in there. Oh, it's like right on the joint. Oh my gosh, the teeth are definitely just digging into my finger. Ah! Oh my gosh. Ah! Oh my gosh, that hurts so much more than I thought it was going to. Ah! These crabs actually use their pinchers for defense and also to catch their food. Oh, hold on, absorb the pain. Oh, I gotta try to get my finger out, man. It's crushing my finger. Hold on, and put it down the rock. Come on, let go. Oh, that hurt. Man, look at all those dents. Oh, that hurt. That was like having your finger in a new set of vice grips. Man! Oh, that was worth it for science. Holy cow, I'm actually a little nervous that he may have like stress fractured the bone. Look at my finger, you see the crush marks? There's actually the pinches of the teeth that I think hurt the worst because I could feel those digging down into the bone. Oh, man, Roscoe, woo, you little bugger. Wow, well, I can now say without a doubt that the pinch of the Dungeness crab, wow, that's pretty bad, is by far the worst I've ever experienced. I can only imagine how bad the pinch is gonna be from a Maine lobster. All right, Roscoe, let's get you back off into the ocean. As I placed Roscoe into the murky ocean waters, I am pretty sure that I saw a little smile on his face just before he disappeared into the unknown.
Cool. Well, there he goes. Roscoe is back off into the ocean, and I still have my finger. Awesome.
As for my finger, it was sore for a week, but completely free of any real damage. As the sun burns through the morning haze, our boat slowly motors up the calm waters of the Crystal River. Welcome to Kings Bay, a series of maze-like canals and scattered islands that serve as a protected wildlife refuge for many species, but none more famous than the Florida manatee.
Look at this. We are literally surrounded by manatees right now.
These gentle giants return to this area each winter to enjoy the consistently warm temperatures of the natural springs, which are essential to the manatee's survival, as they are susceptible to cold and cannot survive for extended periods of time in water temperatures that fall below 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Got my goggles ready to go. Snorkel. Gonna get in the water. This is a little intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. And all of this disturbance in the water, yeah, that's about 50 manatees, and I'm gonna go swim with them.
Throughout Kings Bay, there are various places to spot these majestic marine mammals. You can frequently see them coming to the surface of the cloudy waters in the main canals, their distinguished footprints flattening the water's surface just before they breach and disappear back into the abyss. For a clearer look, you can visit Three Sisters Preserve. Established as a refuge for the manatees, it's considered the crown jewel of Kings Bay, and its crystal clear water is the perfect habitat for all types of marine creatures. Just make sure to stay a respectful distance from the manatees, as this is where they come to sleep. However, if you are looking for a more personal experience, there are designated areas, like King Spring, where you can get in the water and swim right alongside them. My goal was to have the closest encounter possible, and with manatees being most active in the morning, King Spring at sunrise was exactly where we needed to be.
All right, we've got manatees surrounding the boat right now. Trying to be as quiet as possible. We don't want to disturb them. This is the moment of truth. I am diving in with the manatees. This is gonna be awesome.
There are no words that can describe the feeling of what it is like to enter into the realm of the manatee. These giants can grow to 10 feet in length, tipping the scales at well over 1,000 pounds. Based on size alone, they are definitely an intimidating animal. And while at a first glance they resemble something between a dolphin and a walrus, these marine mammals are actually more closely related to elephants. From their prehensile lips and rough skin, to their nail-bearing flippers and innocent eyes, at a closer look, you can easily see the relation to the planet's largest land animal.
Okay, so we're headed back into the springs right now to get up close with the manatees.
My mind raced with a nervous excitement as we swam toward the spring. Here we were, bipedal strangers in a foreign, watery land. Would the manatees welcome us with open hearts and minds, or would they turn the other way to these masked invaders? See, when it comes to having an encounter with a manatee, it's all about the manatee choosing you, and the moment it happens, your life will change forever. Beneath the water's surface, I suddenly found myself surrounded by manatees. They gently maneuvered around me, an innocent curiosity drawing us both closer. Until that perfect moment finally happened. The moment where manatee makes contact with man. As I floated between them, time seemed to slow and a calm came over me. In that very instance, I suddenly felt at one with the giants.
We're absolutely surrounded by manatees right now. This is awesome.
This is where the fun began. And before I knew it, playtime was in full effect. From barrel rolls to belly rubs, we were having a blast.
us to the surface. Look at that. See those little open nostrils? Holy cow, that's amazing.
When actively swimming, manatees can stay submerged for roughly 4 minutes before returning to the surface for air. They are incredibly social animals and rely heavily on touch and sound for communication, especially between a cow and her calf.
A cow and a calf, like right down here. Why don't you back up a little bit? We'll go down, see if we can get a great shot.
Being around youngsters, we were witness to several unique behaviors, including nuzzling, nursing, and cleaning. I even made friends with a little guy we named Douglas, who was absolutely smitten with our cameras.
Right now, we have the most playful little baby manatee swimming around with us.
There's no doubt about it, Dougie was definitely the highlight of our trip. Once you're swimming with manatees, it's almost impossible to leave. And while the 72-degree temperatures are nice at first, after several hours in the water, you really begin to get cold. So it was time to return to the boat. Woo! Holy sea cow, that was awesome. It really is just like they say, swimming with manatees is truly an amazing experience. I'm Coyote Peterson, be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. Man, that was awesome. Once nearly hunted to extinction, the manatee has made an astounding comeback. Strong conservation efforts continue to protect these magnificent creatures, ensuring hope for a bright future. The soul of a manatee is as gentle and as kind-hearted as it gets. Their ability to recognize and accept a stranger into their world is what sets them apart from the rest of the animal kingdom. Getting you up close with animals is by far the greatest job in the world, but as a lot of you know, it's not always as easy as the episodes that I was welcomed beneath the water's surface to swim in the presence of giants.